I think it's important to contextualize it. It's a building that actually reduces a lot of the emissions and is wired in terms of its electricity output to use less electricity than would ordinarily be used. So even beyond the cement and the sort of carbon that is generated by using cement for construction. A green building would typically have, solar type refrigerators or low emission ACs, air conditions, or heaters. So things that will consume less electricity. And to answer your question, simply, I think one of the things that we've struggled with on the continent is to actually have policies that are sustainable and take into account the emerging green economy. There's been a lot of attempts by several countries to write into their building codes and their construction policies why it is necessary to use more sustainable materials. And it's important to understand that there's going to be pushback because for many years now, we've used cement as a source of building. And even more importantly, we have trained all our technicians and our artisans to use cement for building. So when we're trying to transit to a new sort of building mechanisms and using new types of equipments that are more sustainable, there has to be a paradigm shift in the thinking, in the policy, but also in the training of the people who are going to do the actual construction. And the latter two are where you have a bit more challenges. So one of the things that I see that's happening in some of the East African countries and a few West African countries is that there's now a concerted effort in a lot of our technical schools to upskill a lot of the builders, the trade schools as well, the people who are learning how to put in tiles, how to construct buildings, how to construct roads, on how to use some of these new materials. For instance, plastic is now one of the things that are used in green construction and trying to replace cement. And in some places also used to replace asphalt for roads. But then it's how do you smelt the plastic so that, it's also addressing both the plastic waste issue, but also doing it in a way that also creates roads that won't disintegrate after a few years. And getting people to understand the science behind using those technologies. So when we talk about green buildings and green construction, it's a holistic view on how we create homes and sustainable structures using equipment and using technologies that will reduce emission. And in this case, one of the things Africa has is an advantage because we still have a housing deficit and we have road deficit. So it's easier for us to transition to using this sort of greener technologies and equipment right away.